All right. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Caro, how far? It's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, and thanks for the organizers to speak here. It's not the first time I'm speaking at this place. I've been to Ibadan and even to this venue like 30 times in my life, I think. I've been living in Lagos for the last 10 years, and it's unfortunate I can't be here in person this time, but I'll try to convey my message as good as I can on this channel. I'm going to talk about AI for businesses, AI agents in action. I've been living at the forefront of technology for the last 30 years, for all my life, basically, and I've seen new technologies come, rise, and stay and go. But what we are seeing right now is something I have never seen like that before. Like what AI can do for our education, for our healthcare, for our research, for the businesses of each and every one of you in this room will be dramatic, will be amazing, and will be unprecedented. So I'm excited about that. I have been implementing what is kind of the next thing in AI, which is AI agents for the last 2 years, and both at large companies in Germany, but also at companies in Nigeria. So I want to share a bit of my perspective and my experience with that topic. We are African founders. We have four business units. We have Wakanda Solutions. We do consulting on AI. We have Wakanda Business, customer relationship management for your organization. We also have a political arm for a nonprofit development of platforms, and we have an academy that we are running. And you've probably seen my co-founder Biodun on stage already, or he's going to come after this talk. Now, let me start with just talking about where we are today. Most of you have probably already used ChatGPT or any of the current AI platforms, the chatbots that are out there. If you haven't yet, then I am quite convinced that by the end of this conference, you will be using them. And not just once, you will be using them every day. I'm very convinced about that. And many speakers, I believe, will talk about that. But let me tell you my experience. Like we've all seen, or many of us have seen, what chatbots in that arena can do in different areas, in areas of creativity, like they can generate ideas, create summaries, even do translations. In areas like education, where you wouldn't think it would be, like you can really have tutors that help students or even pupils in quite an enhancing and enriching way. You can use it for productivity. That's mainly what I'm going to talk more about. But you can also use it for technology and many more, like coding, etc., software development, where you have clearly defined input and output. That's a clear use case. Now, there's many platforms you can use. The two I would recommend, and this is the two that I'm using, is on the one hand, OpenAI. That's the gold standard. They were the first in the game. They are still the leading company in the race. However, the free version is limited. So for anything, including reasoning, like analytical tasks, software development, like where you really need high level of intelligence, you can use DeepSeek for free. OpenAI still has tools that are useful, like if you want to do voice, if you want to do image creation or analysis, if you want to do video creation or document scanning, all that you can do better with OpenAI and ChatGPT. For everything else, I use the free version DeepSeek, deepseek.com. Search engines, not sure. Not many people are going to use the classical search engine where you have 10 results and need to browse through them for the typical jobs where we used to use it. And Google knows it. They're re-innovating themselves. It'll be interesting to see what the place of a search engine will be in the future. Like from advertising to conversion to loyalty, there's plenty of potential and plenty of use cases where you can apply AI in a company. No matter if it's content generation, if it's translation, if it's targeted one-on-one campaigns, no matter if it's a loyalty program or auto-generated user guides, you name it, there is potential across a company, and it's very wise for companies to look at these things. Now, this is e-commerce, but what about more traditional businesses like refineries? And even there, you will see we've done that for a refinery business here. You see, there is across the value chain, there is potential to implement generative AI. I'm not going into the details, just wanted to show you that you can do more than just using chatbots, and that's what already large companies have implemented and started to adopt. Now, what I really want to talk about is the future going forward, because what we've seen so far, content generation, etc., is like something that can help a certain function gain productivity by 10%, 30%. Studies sometimes show 50% improvement, but that's very rare. Now, in the future, we will see much beyond that. And I want to tell you what I see, what my definition of an agent is, because we will see a multitude of agents across our businesses and across the world, basically, in the future. Now, an agent, in my definition, is imagine ChatGPT, imagine such a chat client, chat AI, which is able to access the web, able to access your systems and your data, able to access a computer to do jobs and reiterate on it, which can act autonomously and has long-term memory. And it will have a natural interface, more than just chat. It will go from chat to voice to video to even glasses, or there will be robots in the future. Like all that is what will come through agents. And imagine that for your own business agent that can do all of these things and have the intelligence of a PhD student, you could say, at the moment, and even more in the future. Collaborating with your staff, with your sellers, with your agents, with your customers. Now, one example, I'm just using one use case here of how you apply such an agent in business. That's a specific use case, but one that is very, very common in Nigeria because most of the communication is happening on social media, on WhatsApp. How much of your business communication happens on WhatsApp? It's quite a lot. So what we have done in Wakanda Business in our CRM platform is we've implemented a bot that you can use for your company to respond automatically to customer requests or to employee requests, depending on what your communication looks like. A bot that can handle questions, look at your documents, look at what you feed him and give answers, but also take orders. And if it doesn't know how to react, doesn't know how to answer it, it can ask whether a human should come in. Like there's a seamless handover between bot and human. So that's something that we have, for example, implemented, and talk to us if you're actually interested in any of these. Now, the future company will look like a multitude of such agents, a multitude of such use cases. You will have for every function, for example, you can imagine you have a bot, one for sales, one for marketing, one for IT, one for operations, and you have your team at the center, which will be enhanced by these bots and will leverage upon these bots. I don't want to go in all the details of each of the bots, but maybe look at the sales bot, a bot that informs you, trains your salespeople that are new, that tells you, hey, there's a new customer. We haven't talked to him for 2 months. I found something on the internet about him. Why don't you reach out to him with this product? I believe it could make sense. Here is a draft email or a draft message. Would you like to send it? And then you can either send it just with a click of a button, or you can talk to your bot and see if you can tweak it, see if you can do something better, give him information that he doesn't have, like an employee almost. And that's the exciting question. We'll talk about that later. What does that mean for employees even? Are they still needed? What is the new role is the better question that we will ask there. You've implemented some samples, or I'll give you some samples of what we have implemented as agents already at companies so that you can get a bit of a better picture on that. For example, here's a CCTV agent that looks at security cameras every couple of seconds and evaluates them. The first obvious use case that the bot can do is spot people where there are no people where they're meant to be, like security. If there's somebody breaking into your property, the bot will immediately know and, of course, will react appropriately. You will define it. Who will he call when somebody breaks in? The security. What if the security is not reachable? Who else? What? Like, there's a workflow behind that. But that's just the first part. If you look at a factory, for example, AI can easily see which machine is running and which one is not. So there can be operational reporting on stuff like that. There can be even more workflow management that is being done by that. If depending on what the machine can see, what the AI can see, there's a lot that can be done. And we're just rolling that out together with one of our first customers in that industry in Nigeria. And we believe there's a lot of potential because obviously every company has CCTV in Nigeria. But there's lots of agents that you can imagine. We have implemented a vendor selection support agent at a large German company, for example. All vendors sent in proposals. The bot has the criteria of the company and scans these proposals, which can be 100 pages long or more in technical environments. And it helps a lot to pre-assess vendors if you have a vendor selection process, for example. And that's just a niche case, but it's one that has significantly improved the experience of that department or that function in the company. There's transactional chatbots for workflow automation in general. There is fraud detection systems, there's content creation agents, you can imagine customer journey companions, etc., etc. And maybe I'll just show you how that looks like also a bit more from a technical perspective, so you can see an actual agent in action. So agents can be pretty cool. This is a sales agent, and I asked it to find the email addresses and phone numbers for all the gyms in the US, because that's our target customers here. Guess how long this would take a human being to do? Guess how long it takes an agent to do just that? And I've pre-recorded that, but literally in seconds, you have for 2,000 gyms, you have their email addresses and their phone numbers. Now, this is just the first step. Now you have a big sheet with your target customers. Next step would be you go to the agent platform. This is the internal view. Our developer's view, the end user's view will be a bit different, but this is how you can actually configure and use that agent. Now, next thing, I'll tell it to draft a prompt, draft an email for each of these 2,000 gyms, or a selected few just for demoing. And you see it has drafted different individualized emails for each of the gyms. Everyone a little bit different depending on what it finds about them on the internet. And you can look at them, and obviously if you like them, you send them. If not, you discard them. All right, I think that's pretty cool. And you can just get a hint of what this can do. Obviously, you can't just do this one use case. You can easily integrate any other medium. You can easily integrate other outreach tools, other things that you want to do. And you can easily do that, not just for sales, but also for other functions. Technology always comes with responsibility. AI can be a powerful tool for good, can also be misused or cause addiction. We stand at crossroads in this world. If we use AI wisely, we can create thriving economies. If we stumble, we risk everything. So let's also see this as a wake-up call, a call to embrace human values, love, understanding, peace. And I don't just mean in the world out there, I also mean in our environment and within us. New technology is also new opportunities. It's never been easier to launch a business, to start something new. The data is clear. Businesses that start right now are faster profitable than they've ever been before, and they need less invest, much faster actually. So embrace it. Embrace AI. Let it power your life, your business, your community. Let's make something amazing with it. And if we do, we'll thrive in the future. Thank you.